Enough about red flags, what are some green flags? I accidentally hurt myself in unintentional ways. It's pretty embarrassing. I'll be walking out the door and hit my arm on the doorknob, or I'll accidentally have my knee hit a cabinet and cut myself. Half of the time I do not notice. Anyway, my now husband noticed this about me as soon as we started dating. Without saying so, he just started anticipating my accidents. So he started pushing the doors open so that the spaces were wider. He would warn me of cracks on the floor. He even started carrying band-aids in his wallet. It's very sweet. He still carries a band-aid, but now keeps Neosporin nearby too. Taking time to calm down before talking when upset. Respecting each other's hobbies. Making space for the other's friends and social lives. Making sure everyone in the relationship is treated fairly. They encourage you to pursue your hobbies and interests, even if it's something they don't get or have any interest in. Someone who hugs you when you've had a bad day or a bad time. Somebody that respects your space and boundaries. I guess going on from that, somebody who makes effort to explore these with you and listens. Clear communication without insults. Asking follow-up questions to clarify. Keeping an eye out for when you need help. Remembering your likes and dislikes. Making time for you. Bringing little gifts, notes just because. Praising you to family or friends. Defending you when others attack. Thanking you for doing normal things. Not making you feel bad about little quirks. Being able to shake off frustrations and not take them out on you. When they want to hear about your day / hobbies / interests / goals. Someone who doesn't try to control you, who listens to what you say, hugs you, and kisses you on the forehead when you cry, etc. Also someone who takes their responsibilities and doesn't try to run away at the slightest problem or difficulty. Backing off when they see someone looks uncomfortable instead of waiting for a hard no. Being kind to animals. Showing genuine interest in what you have to say. Sweetheart with children. Biggest thing I easily fall for too. Never once he made fun of my bad moments, panic and or anxiety, always there to listen. Even when he has almost to no time, he always makes sure to reply, even if it's just a couple of words, just so I know I'm not alone. When their characteristics involve being humble, kind, compassionate, understanding and honest. People can only fake these traits for an extremely limited amount of time, but if throughout time, you see that it's a constant, you found your green flag. Someone who is happy with your happiness. If he/she celebrates when you accomplish something. For instance, if you take a good grade. Honesty is big. If they tell you straight from the start who they are. Listens well, empathetic, friendly, helpful, and non-egotistical. Being friendly to wait staff. Someone who handles shame, accountability, and consequences well. That's a person who understands and exercises empathy and thinks about the whole when they act, not just themselves. Text me when you get home. You feel as though they enrich your life. Their appreciation and reciprocal effort are added to the time and effort you put forth for and with them. You both improve one another, and it feels amazing, man. When I first met her at a party, my now wife and I talked about football and our shared love for Shrek. Someone that can admit to their wrongdoing, or acknowledge how you feel on a situation, even if it's not a necessary way to feel, but they are your feelings after all. Someone who doesn't call you a child. When you cry, men can cry too. When they show you that they listened. You know when you're explaining something, and you try to explain something but they go, you mean, the thing you told me about 2 weeks ago, right? And it's like, oh yeah, that saves me the time, and also wait, you remembered. Someone who desires you, not needs you. When my cat loves him. He's better at reading people than I am. Someone who communicates clearly and openly. When you and your partner are a team. You work to support and uplift one another. It's the mentality of it's you and me against the world. When both have hobbies and interests apart from one another. It's healthy to have your own thing and to have space from one another. When no one keeps score. When both do chores and things that need to be done. When you both can do things with your friends/hobbies. It's never about well, you so I get to. When they treat people in the service industry with respect. When they remember what you like and pick up something little from the store for you. And everything doesn't have to be 50/50. When one of you is having a difficult time, the other one carries more of the burden. When your partner is your best friend. When they order pizza, when you're too tired to cook. I have several shelves storing my plushie collection. I'm glad someone appreciates that lol. Not just a romantic green flag, but a general one. When they are genuinely glad about your happiness. It's one thing to listen to someone about their interests, but to be genuinely happy and proud of their triumphs is a green flag and a half. I know too many people that will either get jealous or try to make it about them when someone talks about their success. Somebody who respects their boundaries as well as their partners. And communication, but hugs and kisses are also nice. Asks if it's okay to pet a dog. Offers kids a hug or a handshake. Doesn't demand one from them. No major arguments for at least the first few months of the relationship. The person should be your new best friend in the making, and the honeymoon should be damned pleasurable. In my own life and those I have observed, this state predicted happier longevity of the relationship. Someone who is immediately willing to listen to your sexual preferences without whining/worse behavior. Active desire to communicate and understand you as a person. The ability to remain independent. Dependency or codependency is often corrosive to relationship, and a lack of jealousy regarding your other friends/family. Someone who is charitable with their time and support. Obviously the flip side of this is someone who lets people walk all over them, but general and reasonable helpfulness is a very good sign. After 3 days meeting my girlfriend, I got a fever. She stayed beside me the whole time. Fed me and bathed me. That's when I knew she was the one. When he communicates. You can talk about your interests together. Even if they don't understand it or like it themselves, they still listen and contribute to an actual conversation instead of just nodding along without paying attention. Willingness to put someone you love's desires before yours in certain situations. You definitely need to prioritize your happiness as a whole in order for a relationship to thrive, but I also think it's important to sacrifice sometimes to make your partner happy. Otherwise, why be in a relationship? Nobody is 100% compatible in my opinion. Couples who understand this live the best lives, and it results in feeling like the perfect relationship. Being kind to everyone, most especially those who work in service. When you go over to someone's place for the first time and they've got shelves full of books they've read. Asking for space is a green flag in my book, at least they ask instead of letting negative feelings build up. Brings you food when you're sick. When they have a problem with you, they talk to you about it. Inversely, when you have a problem with them, they actually listen. Might not always agree, but the conversation happens. I figure out how to resolve it. It's insane how rare this quality is. Someone that keeps their word and follows through with plans that you've made. If they aren't able to keep plans or are running late, they communicate that ASAP and needed reschedule BC. They see your time as valuable. When you both hate the same stuff, it's pretty great. Going out for drinks or dinner, if a person is kind to the server, that's definitely a green flag. Way a person is willing to treat total strangers can tell you a lot about the way in which he or she might treat you in the future. When they treat people of service with respect. When you're injured or sick and they do everything they can to take care of you. When she asks you how was your day. Someone who is happy to let you make your own choices and support them. Also someone who doesn't smother you and allows you to have some space. Some people need to learn to take no for an answer. if they can talk about their problems and worries like an adult, someone who can admit to not being perfect. Being capable of telling me no when they don't feel like doing something, but being open to try something I like to do. Being capable of accepting a no from me when I don't want to do something, but being open to bring me with them to do something they like that I don't know much about. Basically, being reasonable, mature and understanding. No vaping. Smile like a Sondheim at my jokes. Owning a pair of sneakers. The number of women I encounter who think sneakers are trashy is very weird. The ability to really get into a conversation. As a woman, I personally think that one of the best green flags is definitely when they get along with your parents. Not worried about doing girly things. Femininity isn't threatening or demeaning enough to him to make him stop doing things he likes. He can't be goaded by other men when they say the show / movie / game / etc he enjoys is girly. Has an innocuous passion that he truly loves and could talk about for 3 hours. Whatever it is, mini painting, book series, programming Raspberry Pis, obscure history facts, doesn't have to be interesting, but his excitement makes it interesting. Treats people who can't do anything for him with respect. Likes small kids or animals and treats them softly as well. Will eat the rest of my fries when I can't finish it all. The ideal man. Honestly extremely rare these days, lol. When someone is an artist, a dreamer, kind-hearted. When he respects you, hugs you all the time, when you are together. She explains the importance of sticking to a budget. Someone to put attention more of the common when you talk excited about something that you enjoy. Doesn't force sex. Pretty sure that was obvious. Pets. Skipping small talk and going straight into embarrassing stories, their wildest nights out, pet peeves, etc. IDK probably shows that she's comfortable in my presence or something. Someone who doesn't mind when physical touch is initiated. Just shows they aren't in it for the touch. Ick now? A boy who likes hanging out with his grandparents is a good sign. When you both love cuddling and fit together like puzzle pieces. For me, having a good sense of humor and gives everyone basic human respect. Asks whether you've eaten the whole day. Great cook and doesn't yell at you for the smallest things. I was / am a typical skate rat. I spent a crazy amount of time at my local scatter parks as a youth. I remember one of the first real girlfriends I'd had. She would always bring me food and gallons of water to the skate park. We became friends over this, and eventually she ended up offering me rides around, so I wouldn't be so tired skating from park to park, and spending almost the same amount of time at the parks as me. It took me way too long to realize she was doing a lot more things for me specifically than anyone else. I asked her a question along the lines of, why do you spend so much time at the park when you don't even skate? And she said, in case you get really up and need a ride to the hospital. I realized instantly I wanted / needed her to be my girlfriend. Someone who treats their pets well and truly cares for them. Books. Not everyone will agree, but I get very suspicious of a person if they don't have any books in their house. I know you can be minimalist and just use e-readers now, but I still think people that actually read will have books around the house and keep favorite books. It's not a total red flag if they don't, but for sure a green flag for me if they do. Someone that actually asks further questions about your hobby. They may not be into it, but it feels good knowing they want to try and understand it. But maybe that's asking too much. They like garlic bread. Someone hug me and put my head on their chest and caress my head. The people who do this while crying are my real friends in my life, because they know me. This may be entirely useless to some, but when buying used cars, especially if it is a cheaper car, if it has 4 matching tires from a quality brand like Michelin or Bridgestone, green flag that it was taken care of, even if it's a bit ugly in other areas. Nothing says I absolutely abuse this thing like a set of ling longs. When there is no red flags. I'm not saying it's a green flag, but having ADHD is not a red flag, because people with ADHD are mostly kind to only close people they are not mean they are just shy and active. Brazil. Jamaica. Does that count? Good relationship with their siblings. If she knows every boss fight location in Elden Ring. He's a feminist. People who are really into wildflowers. Appreciating your body even though you're skinny with a little bit of curviness. Being direct and transparent, understanding the difference between wanting to vent and wanting to problem solve. Being loyal, having disdainful eyes, asking for consent,